Oakley dokley, we now come to part C, which says, what is the maximum number of seats still available to travel from Melbourne to London on this day? Okay, so maximum flow, minimum cut. So I'm going to be showing you the little trick that is sometimes helpful, but you got to be on your toes as to when to use this and when not to use this. So what we're going to do is we're going to consider different pathways from Melbourne to London. So we can consider this pathway right here. You look for the smallest number on this pathway, which is 5. So I'm going to subtract everything by 5 here. So this will become 0, circle your 0. This will become 9, and this will become 7 if I subtract 5 there. You also want to keep a count of what it is you're subtracting. So I'm subtracting 5 there. And then you continue on. I can no longer go through this pathway here because I can't go through a 0. So that means the next one I would go through is here. My smallest number on this pathway is 8. So I subtract 8 here. I add that onto my tally. I now need to go 22 minus 8. 22 minus 8 is going to be 14. So that now is 14. I can now go through that way. Remember, you can't go through the 0 anymore. So now I'm stuck going through this way. My smallest number now is 9. So I'm going to subtract 9 there. Keep a tally of that. So now I'm going to go 14 minus 9. 14 minus 9 is going to be 5. And I'm going to subtract that by 9 as well. So that will be 5 as well. All right, then I can no longer go through this way at all because I would go that way or that way. Each way is going to hit a 0, so that's no good. But I could go through that way, in which case my smallest number now would be 5. So I'm going to subtract 5. I will subtract 5 from there as well. Now I can no longer go through that way because I'm stuck going through a 0. I cannot go that way because I'm stuck going through a 0. So that means the last way I can consider is going through that way. In which case 20 is my smallest number. So that now becomes a 0. And this now would become 7. So, and remember to keep a tally of it. Now, if I add together all of these, I'm going to end up with 5 plus 8 plus 9 plus 5 plus 20, which is going to be 47. So that means my maximum flow is going to be 47. But before you actually write that in as your answer, it's always a good idea to actually see if you can find where that minimum cut is going to be. Remember, the alternative way of doing this is just trial and error. Now, where all the zeros are going to be an indication of where a good cut would be. So, let's go through that 0 there. Let's go through that 0 there. And then at this point, I'm like, you know what? If I go through this 0, I can then backtrack through there to go here because I know I wouldn't count that 10. So now I would go 20 plus, don't count that 10, 14 plus 8 plus 5. And let's just hope that gives me 47. It does. So I'm pretty confident. So now make sure you're doing this in pencil, people, because you do want to rub these things out because you want to keep looking back at these things again and again. It looks like my minimum cut will be there, 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 there. Now, you could try to do that by trial and error, but that's pretty tricky. So this little trick method here is helpful. So my answer will be 47. And if I look at my answer, the answer is 47. That is question 2C. Hopefully you found this helpful. Remember, the alternative way of doing this is a bit of trial and error.